Good morning, everyone. Okay, good morning. So, yesterday it's 9:20, so I'm starting. Okay. Yesterday, you all have you have seen the what is the demographic condition. Okay, how the British has dominated the demographic condition of the country India. Then you have seen the condition of your foreign trade. Then you have seen your condition of the agricultural sector, industrial sector, all those things. Okay. Okay, good morning, everyone. Now listen. Good morning. Listen. Now here comes your occupational structure. Okay, occupational structure means what? Now I will tell before going to this occupational structure that this occupational structure is only the sector or structure which had shown some amount of improvement, means which has shown some amount of improvement, this occupational structure. Okay, previously I've gone through those agricultural sector, industrial sector, and your foreign trade, all those. It was very much bad, the situation was very critical or bad. Now here it is not that the case. It is the case what, that this occupational structure has shown some amount of um, good sign. Okay, now what is this occupational structure? Occupational structure related about those occupation of the peoples, of the Indians. Okay, occupation of the peoples and of the Indians. Now students, see what is written here. It refers to the distribution of working persons across different industries and sector. I'll read it once again. It refers to distribution of working persons across different industries and sectors, means the people who are working in agricultural sector, industrial sector, service sector, etc., all those. Now I have told India is very much rich in agricultural sector, means maximum people, more than 75% of the people were crowded in the agricultural sector. So, keeping this sentence in your mind, come with the first point. Predominance of primary occupation, means primary occupation of Indians was agriculture. So, what it is telling here? 75% in agricultural sector and 25% in manufacturing and remaining sector, means in 100% 75% of peoples were involved in agricultural sector and 25% were involved in what? Involved in manufacturing and service sector. Okay, so maximum people involved in agricultural sector, and they are very much satisfied with their agricultural sector. They are earning some money from those agricultural sector. They are maintaining their livelihood, etc., all those things. But there is some regional variation. Regional variation means region to region there was some difference. There is some regional variation. From region to region there was some variation or difference. What is that? Tamil Nadu, West Bengal, Kerala, etc. witnessed a decline in dependence of workforce on the agricultural sector, means Tamil Nadu, West Bengal, Kerala, Karnataka, Maharashtra, Andhra Pradesh, etc. All these countries faced a decline. Okay, faced a decline in the agricultural sector. Now when the agricultural sector was declining, the peoples were not able to work in the agricultural sector. Okay, but what they were doing with the increase in manufacturing and service sector, means in all these areas, all regions, manufacturers and service sector started flourishing, and agricultural sector started stopping down. And for this reason only, what happens, the people were transferring or migrating from agricultural sector to manufacturing and service sector. But however, some state remain working on the agricultural sector, like Orissa, Rajasthan, Punjab, etc., all these states. Okay, but these states were confined with the agricultural sector only. So here in the predominance, here in the regional variation, you have not seen that there is no such negative things written here. Previously, in the demographic condition, in agricultural sector, in industrial sector, in foreign trade, you have seen many of negative problems which was being done by the British, okay, over the Indians. But here only in this occupation structure, there is not so much of negative things written here. Just the ratio of how much people are working in which sector, in which area, which population, in how many time, etc., all those things, it is written here. Okay. Now, students, I will just tell you one thing. Don't just break the decorum of the class. If you want to talk with your friends and all those things, I will just tell you, you can go in a private chatting. Please don't come here for talking. Be concentrated on your topics, notes. Okay? Please, it's a request. First of all, I'm telling you all. Now, after this occupational structure, you are coming with your infrastructure. Now, what is this infrastructure? First of all, I will tell you, infrastructure tells about your roadways, railways, air and water transport, communication. Now, goods are being transferred from Britain to India, India to Britain. Okay, now for how this good will transfer from one country to another, one region to another, if there is no good infrastructure facility. But students, I will tell you, this infrastructure facility was also witnessed a very much bad situation from the British. British has used this infrastructure facility for their own purpose. Okay, for their own transfer of goods, transfer of materials, raw materials. Okay, not in favor of the Indians. Okay, not in favor of the Indians. Now, you will come one by one with your this all this roadways, railways, air and water transport, communication. You will see how this all these 4 points are being hampered. All these 4 infrastructural facilities are being hampered by the Britain or England. Okay, now if you come to the book, you can able to see here. See what it's written here. The infrastructure facilities during British rule were very poor. Some efforts were made to develop basic infrastructure like roads, railways, ports, water transport, posts and telegraphs. But the main aim motive behind such infrastructural development was to serve various colonial interests. So you give this sentence very much important. The what was the main objective, main purpose of infrastructural facility which is provided by the British? The main motive was that infrastructural development was made for to serve whom? for just for to maintain the colonial interest. Okay, nothing else. The state of infrastructure as inherited from the British rule is discussed below. Now, one at a time you will see. First, you will see the roads. What about roads? The colonial administration could not accomplish much on construction of roads due to scarcity of funds. So what happens? The people does not have such amount of funds or money in their hand to construct roads for themselves. So British has constructed road for themselves, for their purpose only, from where the goods will come. That roads they have maintained, just nothing else. Okay, so it is written the colonial administration could not accomplish much on construction of roads due to the scarcity of funds. First point, the roads that were built primarily served the interest of mobilizing the army and shifting raw material. So what was the main purpose of constructing the roadways? The main purpose of constructing the roadways is to mobilize, okay, or used to move the army from one country to another, and the raw materials, shift of raw materials from one country to another, from one region to another, nothing else. They have not thought about how the Indians will move to construct the roads for Indians personal use. No, just for two reasons, army and raw materials. So you can see that British has for own interest only they have made the construction of roads. Now coming to the second point, you will see it is written, there always remained an acute shortage of all weather roads. Weather roads means summer, winter, rainy season, all this type of road, weather condition, roads which depends on weather, climate condition, to reach out to rural areas during the rainy season. There was acute shortage, means there was no roads were being made for to go to the rural areas during the rainy season. Okay, as a result, people living in these areas suffered badly during natural calamities and famines. So what is telling here? It is telling here the peoples faced a very much problem during famines, flood situation, calamities, okay, all those things, because though the outskirt roads were not maintained by the Britain. Okay, the outskirts road were not maintained by the Britain. Only the roads, which roads were constructed or maintained? The roads which were being used for transporting the raw materials, and for what? For shifting of the army from one place to another. Okay, next you will be having your next point of speaking is your railway. See, the most important contribution of British rule was to introduce railways in India in 1850. So first railway was introduced from where to where? Mumbai to Thane. Okay, in 1850 the railways affected the construction of the Indian economy in two important ways. Okay, the railways affected the structure of the Indian economy in two important ways. First one, railways enabled people to undertake long distance travel. It broke geographical and cultural barriers and promoted national integration. So it has been, railways are being made for what? To break the long distance, travel will be easy, traveling will be easy. Okay, so the net is showing some, okay, so the traveling will be easy. Second, it broke the geographical and cultural barriers. As railways were being constructed, what happened? The people from one place to another, they can able to move without any problem, without any obstacles. Okay, second comes, it enhanced commercialization of Indian agriculture, which adversely affected the comparative self-sufficiency of the village economies in India. What happened? Enhanced commercialization of Indian agriculture. What is the point telling? Means the cash crops which was being made by or produced by Indians, it was very easily taken or shifted from India to Britain with the help of these railways. Okay, third comes your um, air and water transport. British government took measures for developing the water and air transport. However, their development was far from satisfactory. See, it is told their development was far from satisfactory, means it was not at all good. It was being constructed, some air transport has been constructed, some water transport has been constructed. Previously I have told ships were being moving through the help of Suez Canal. Okay, so there was not so much satisfactory. This transport facility of air and water were not so much sophisticated or satisfactory position. Communication related to the posts and telegraphs, as of all you will see the post and telegraphs are being made to maintain the law and order, and it was charged, or the cost of these post and telegraphs were being very high. So the facilities are being used by only the British, or used by only the Britain or England. No other Indians can able to get help from this communication from post and telegrams. Now we will come to the reasons for infrastructural development. What was the reasons, basic reasons why these road, railways, telegraphs have been came? Why? The first reason I have told for roads. Why road were made? For army, mobilizing of the army. See, this point is mobilizing of the army. And second point will be drawing out raw materials from the countryside, means the outskirt, means the village inside of the countryside, to the nearest railway station or ports, and to send these to England or other lucrative foreign destinations. What is telling here? First, roads were made to mobilizing the army. Second, roads were made to drawing out of what? Of raw material. From where to where? Raw materials are being made in the outskirt. Okay, in the village. For example, raw materials are being made in the village. So from village, how it will go to Britain? From village, how it will go to Britain? These roadways make a channel between this outskirt or countryside to the railways. They join the communication. Okay, and from railways it can be easily taken to the England or Britain, wherever. So in these two ways roads were being made. Second, you are coming with your railways. What is railways have been made for what reason? There are three reasons. First reason, to have control and administration over the vast Indian territory. You know that railways can able to keep a control over whole Indian territory. What is going on, how it is going on. If one day the railway is being stopped, the facility is not given, there is no connection or link between it. Okay, so railways have been made for effective control and administration over India. Second, it was made highly for the profit, see written a profit, through foreign trade by linking railways with the major ports. Now what happens? Ports are being situated at far distance. Now roads connect with railway and railway connects with ports. So what happens? The British people can able to, or the British or Britain people can able to earn high profit from it. Okay, and the third point come to make profitable investment of British funds in India. To make profitable investment of British funds in India. See, whatever investments are being made by India or British, it is being made for to make profit from railway only, nothing else. Okay, whatever funds, whatever investments are being made, it was made by British only, not Indians, because Indians does not have such amount of money. And the last, why telegraph facility came. The system of electric telegraph was introduced at a high cost to serve the purpose of maintaining law and order. First of all, see, high cost it is written. Means what? It will be used by only British because it is very higher cost which India cannot able to afford. Second, in order to purpose or to maintain the law and order. So railway was being maintained to have effective control and administration over the vast Indian territory, and this telegraph facility has been made to maintain the law and order of the country. Okay, these are the reasons why road, rail and telegraph, electric telegraph have been came. So the conclusion of this chapter, I can read it out, you listen carefully. By the time India won its independence in 1947, the impact of 200 years of British colonial rule was already showing on all aspects of the Indian economy. Following points are the clear proofs of economic underdevelopment during the British period. First, the constant per capita income over the long period, increasing dependence of population on agriculture, the zamindari system, traditional methods of cultivation, high frequency of famines, destruction of Indian handicrafts, inadequate industrialization. So all these points more or less you have covered in this chapter. What was the situation before the independence of 1947? Now, after this chapter, you will come slowly what has happened after this Indian independence. Okay, you will go through that what happened after this independence. All these second chapters, that Indian economic reform from 1950 to 90, you will see later chapters that how many economic plannings are coming, what are the 5-year plans or goals. All this will be the situation of your Indian economic situation. Okay, it will be all of your after independence case. Okay, so this is about your first chapter. I will be giving you, I have notes I have given you yesterday. Please go through it, read all those lines. Okay, I will be giving you question answer related to this chapter. Please write it in your exercise copies. There will be 2 copies. One will be of Indian economy, another will be of macroeconomics. Okay, with date you will write the question and answers. When the school will open, we will be checking the copies. Okay, now when this chapter has been completed, let me start or give the introduction of your macro chapter, which is your banking chapter. Banking, I have told you that I will come with this. I am giving you today this introduction. Tomorrow I will start in details. Now, first of all, what do you mean by bank? It is written here, the chapter is banking, commercial banks and the central banks. Means there will be a commercial bank and there will be a central bank. Okay, now you all know in India, what is the name of the central bank? It's RBI, Reserve Bank of India, who is the father of all commercial banks. Okay, now what are the commercial banks? State Bank of India, Allahabad Bank, etc. All those, Axis Bank, then Indian Bank, Overseas Bank, etc. All these small banks are known as commercial banks who provide service to us, and RBI is the father of or the apex of all these commercial banks. Okay, if the public have any problem, they will go to whom for to take help? Financial related help. Whom they will go? This commercial banks. We the public will go to where? We will go where? We will go to commercial banks, all these banks. And The commercial bank, if they face any problem, they will go where? They will go to Reserve Bank of India. Okay, so now what is commercial bank? It is written here, see, commercial bank is primary unit of the Indian banking system. Like other businesses, commercial banks also aim to earn profits, and for this they offer a variety of services to their customers. Now see, the main motive of bank is also earning profit. Okay, for this reason only they provide service to the customers or the public. Okay, so what is commercial bank? Commercial bank is an institution which performs the functions of accepting deposit, granting loans, and making investment with the aim of earning profit. One more time I will explain. Commercial bank, see here features are also given here in the definition. Commercial bank is an institution which performs the functions of accepting deposits, granting loans, and making investments with the aim of earning profit. The examples are State Bank of India, Punjab National Bank, Allahabad Bank, Canara Bank are some examples of commercial banks in India. Okay, now you will come with the function of commercial banks. There are two functions. One is the primary function, another is the secondary function. Now here I have drawn some diagram basis theory so that you can able to, by picture you can able to get nicely that what is written here. See, I have written here first the function of bank. Okay, then I have written there are two types of function. One is your primary function, another is your secondary function. Now what is primary function, what is secondary function, student? Primary function is what? The functions which will be provided by bank, and it's compulsory. They have to provide, otherwise they will not be called as bank, commercial bank. And what is secondary function? Secondary function are the extra functions or facilities or service which the bank provide. Okay, now under primary functions there are 2 points. First one is the accepting deposits. You know very nicely that commercial banks accepts deposit. Whenever you go with the cash, you do what? Either you deposit or you withdraw. And the second primary function is granting advances, means loans and advances. Okay, whenever you require money, you go to bank for to ask what? Give some loan, give some money, and the bank charge interest on that lump sum amount. Okay, now comes your secondary function. Secondary function are of two types: agency function, utility function. As I have told, secondary function are the extra functions which the banks provide to the public. What are the functions under this agency functions? Transfer of funds, means sometimes you transfer funds from one person to another, that is only the transfer of funds. Second, periodic payments, time to time payments in periodic time basis. Time to time you make payments. Collection of checks, it is also the bank's function, collecting the checks from customers. Portfolio management, periodic collections, other agency functions. In other agency functions, when we will come in details, I will tell what is there in other agency functions. Utility functions comes drafts, locker facility, underwriting, projects report, social welfare programs, other utility functions. So this is the main picture of your function of bank. Even if you cannot able to mug it up, you cannot able to recognize, you are forgetting, if you can recognize, if you can memorize this picture, you can automatically write the answer of the questions. Okay, now I'm coming one at a time. Okay, first I'm coming with your, see, accepting deposit is written here, isn't it? See, it is the most important function of commercial banks. They accept deposits in several forms according to requirements of different sections of the country. The main kinds of deposits are, what are the kinds of deposits? First of all is a current deposit or demand deposit. Second is your fixed deposit or time deposit. Third is your saving deposit. Okay, these are the three types of deposits. So one at a time I will discuss. What is current deposit or demand deposit? I have told in money, demand deposits, when the customers come and charge demand, or in demand they ask. Okay, so with the help of the check, the cash are being withdrawn by the customer from the bank. Remember students, for these demand deposits, no interest are being paid on these accounts. See, these deposits refers to those deposits which are repayable by the banks on demand. Means the bank will repay it, okay, on demand. When the customer will demand, the bank has to repay it. And the medium of repaying is what? Check. By check. See, they can be drawn by check without any restriction. And no interest. Banks do not pay any interest on this accounts. Okay, bank do not pay any interest on these accounts. Rather, banks impose service charge. So who makes this current account? You know, you are doing accountancy, no? So you know who makes current account? The businessman makes current account. Current account are being made to make deposit only. For that deposit, no interest is being charged, and the businessman can able to draw up the money with the help of that check. Now, what is fixed deposit or time deposit? You know very nicely. Fixed deposit, which are those deposits in which the amount is deposited within the bank for a fixed period of time. Fixed period of time means for 5 years, for 10 years, for 20 years. Okay, and high rate of interest is being charged. There is no checkable facility. During the fixed deposit, a certificate will be given to you, and when the maturity date will come, you will go with that certificate to the bank, and it will be, the cash will be encashed to you, and it will be given to you with high rate of interest. Next comes your saving deposit. See, these deposits combine the feature of both current account deposit and fixed deposit. Means what? It's a feature of both current account and fixed deposit. Means what? Like current account, saving deposits money, you whenever you require, you can take out with the help of check. Second, fixed deposit, what happened? Like fixed deposit, this fixed deposit, it has the same thing. What is it telling? It is telling that like current deposit, the customer can able to withdraw the money with the help of check, and like fixed deposit, the customer can able to keep the money which is there in the saving account. They can, no need to withdraw, whatever they want they can do, keep it. Interest is being charged, but there is a difference between it, between this fixed deposit and saving deposit. What is it? Less interest rate on fixed deposit. I'll read it out. These deposits combine features of both current account deposits and fixed deposits. The depositors are given check facility to withdraw money from their account, but some restrictions are imposed on number and amount of withdrawal. See, first of all, it is there. In current account, there is no restriction of withdrawal money. You can withdraw whenever you require with the help of check. But in saving deposit, there is some restriction and time limit. in order to discourage frequent use of saving deposits. If there is no restriction, many people will, maximum people will come, they withdraw money, they deposit money, again they will withdraw money, they will deposit. So it will go on continuously. For that reason, there is some restriction. They carry a rate of interest which is less than interest rate on fixed deposit. So this is the three main accounts or deposits which is made by the bank. This is all the deposits under accepting deposits. Now we will come to the advancing of loans, where we will see the cash credit facility, demand loans which is written here, and the short-term loans. So after that you will come with the secondary function. So let me complete this advanced primary functions today. The deposits received by banks are not allowed to remain idle. So after keeping certain cash reserves, the balance is given to needy borrowers and interest is charged from them. Now very important line this is. What it is telling, when you students, when your father goes to make deposit in your bank, listen carefully, when your father goes to make deposit in your bank, okay, some amount, for example, your father gone to bank with 50,000 rupees, he has deposited. So that 50,000, within that 50,000 rupees, 10,000 rupees bank keep with himself or itself for requirement, any requirement. Okay, that 10,000 is known as cash reserve, which is written here, cash reserve. And the remaining 40,000, what the bank will do? It will give loan 40,000 to the needy borrowers and the interest will be charged. For example, I have gone to bank and I want 40,000 rupees as a loan. So your father has given 50,000 rupees, 10,000 rupees bank has kept, and the remaining 40,000 rupees the bank will give it to me as a loan, and the bank will ask for that 40,000 rupees interest. In this manner, bank raises its money, bank increases its asset. Okay, understand this one very nicely, because this is the main function of bank. The remaining money or the remaining deposit, the bank provide loan with that remaining deposit to the needy borrowers and charge interest. Okay, and that is the money or the income or the profit the bank incurs, which is the main source of income for this bank. See, it is written source of income for this bank. Different types of loans and advances made by commercial banks are cash credit. Cash credit refers to the loan given to the borrower against his current assets like shares, stocks, bonds, etc. Means when I go to bank and I ask about loan, okay, so the bank will give me loan with anything. I have not to keep anything as a mortgage. Yes, I have to keep mortgage with the bank. What I have to keep? I have to keep shares, the stocks, bonds, etc. A credit limit is sanctioned and the amount is credited in his account. The borrower may withdraw any amount within his credit limit and interest is charged on the amount actually withdrawn. Means what happened? When I am a borrower, I have gone to bank to take loan. Bank told, yes, I will give you loan, but you have to keep some mortgage with me. And what is the mortgage? Shares, stocks, bonds. And what the bank will do? The bank will not pay the money directly in my hand via cash. No, the bank will open an account in favor of my name. For example, Avik Basak, it will be account has been made in favor of my name. Okay, and the bank will deposit that 40,000 which I asked as a loan into my account. I will withdraw the cash from that account with the help of check, and the interest will be charged on the amount which I have withdrawn. Understood? This is cash credit. Now comes what is your demand loan. Demand loan refers to those loans which can be recalled on demand by the bank at any time. Means whenever the bank will give loan to me, but whenever the bank, if required, it can call for to repay it. Okay, that is demand loan. Means a demand will be coming from bank side, pay the loan to me. Okay, so the entire sum of demand loan is credited to the account, and interest is payable on the entire sum. Means whenever the bank require money, the loan which is given to me, the bank required now to pay back the loan. So if the bank demand to me, okay, pay back the loan which I've given to you, I have to pay back. Short-term loan, they are given as personal loans against some collateral securities. Okay, the money is credited to the account of the borrower, and the borrower can withdraw money from his account, and interest is payable on the entire sum of loan granted. Just keeping in mind, this short term loan is just as same as cash credit which you have done previous. Okay, and what is the main difference? Short term means for short time period a personal loan is given to borrower. So this much is about your primary function of bank. Tomorrow I will do with the secondary function. Okay, thank you class. I will be sending the study material and all the related question answers to you. Okay, thank you.